Last September, my grandmother was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. In March of this year, she passed away quietly and with little fanfare, which, if you knew her, made sense. She was going to do things on her own timeline. She was my very first best friend, my full-time caretaker from the time I was born, the person that instilled in me my sense of wonder and fostered my creativity and imagination. Losing her this year, as I finally hit some major life milestones, was hard. And there's been a noticeable void felt during each successive holiday. Usually a time the family all gathered at Grandma's house for her unmatched cooking and holiday magic. So I have somewhat been dreading Christmas. There are traditions and holiday dishes that will never quite be the same without her. But I thought maybe I could try to carry on just a tiny bit of her legacy by making some of her Santa Claus Christmas cookies. If you Google Santa Claus cookies, there are a lot of different variations out there. Many with a coconut beard, which, yuck, but to each their own. My grandmother's recipe was like most of her other recipes, something pulled out of a magazine or passed along from one woman to another so that by the time I was a child decorating Santa cookies with my grandmother, it was committed to memory and made more from vibes than exact instructions. After some intense Google image searching, I was able to find a pretty similar recipe, which I'll link down in the description if you want something specific to follow along with. But we'll go with vibes and childhood memory for this video. First, your ingredients. For the cookies themselves, you'll need a roll of Pillsbury sugar cookie dough and red sugar sprinkles. For decorating, you'll need a tub of white frosting and red food coloring, or in my case, red and white pre-made icing, because finding white icing in December is a harder challenge than you'd think. Then red gumdrops, cinnamon imperials, and some mini marshmallows. The cookies themselves are actually the part I was most anxious about. As a small child, I remember making cookies with my grandmother, but as we got older, usually we'd just come over to decorate the cookies after they'd already been baked. But essentially, you slice off your cookie from the dough log at about a 1/4 inch thickness. Then slice a thin strip off each side of the cookie. You shape those thin strips into little dough balls and roll them in the red sugar. Then place them back on the cookie about 2/3 of the way down and press them in to make the cheeks. Do this several times over with the rest of the dough, then bake according to the package instructions. For me, it's bake at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 11 to 14 minutes or until light golden brown. Once the cookies are cooled, this is when the magic happens, the decorating. You'll first ice the top of the cookie with red icing and then place a mini marshmallow on either side for the tassel of the hat. Next, you'll need a decorating bag or plastic storage bag with the tip of the bottom corner cut off. Or in my case, you can be lazy and buy icing that comes with the decorating tip already included. Work smarter, not harder. You want the decorating tip for this part because you'll go around the outside of the cookie and along the bottom of the hat in a small loop-de-loop design to create the white beard and hair. For the eyes, you'll pipe 2 little dots of white icing and then add 2 of the cinnamon imperials on top. As a kid, I always thought these were too spicy and I would pick them off before eating the cookie, but as an adult, I love the little added chewiness and cinnamon kick. For the nose and mouth, you'll use 1 red gumdrop. Slice off the top half and that will be the nose. Then with the bottom half you have left, cut that in half so you'll have 2 little red gummy smiles. Then use the white icing like glue to place the nose and mouth. And for the finishing touch, pipe a little white mustache on between the nose and mouth. I'm lucky to have had my grandmother for 33 years, and I'm proud to carry on her legacy through the things I cook, and most importantly, through how I care for others. She will be profoundly missed this Christmas, but remembered in every dish and sweet treat we make in her honor.